Alright, I'm going to use some Fataba screws on them. They're a lot smaller, but guessing they'll hold. I saw something kind of neat. I just found this guy popped out of here. I'm like, okay, typical laser cut thing, but I'm like, well, why did they have these laser cut? Because this is supposed to be scrap. Well, it just dawned on me that these two little pieces that popped out of that centerpiece just happen to fit perfect on the back side of here. So what I'm going to do is glue these on, re-drill those holes, so that gives it double the thickness for the screws to give some bite to. Possibly what they intended, I don't know, but with no instructions, this is what you get. Trial and error. Alright, so let me glue these guys on, and then I'll re-drill these real quick. A little music tonight. Like I said, it may not be what they intended, but that'll give a lot more air for those screws to hold on to. Be a lot stronger, I think. Alright, so let's re-drill these holes. Alright, let's try that. I don't think that's going to work good. And they put some recesses in here because there's no room with this hatch to go on top. So if you have screws sticking on top, they would hit. So they basically countersunk it there a little bit. Oh yeah. May have to go and see if I can find some better screws, because these have the possibility to bend. Oh yeah. It's got to be what those little scraps of wood are for. Works out nice. Yeah, Jack L's doing one of these as well in Texas, and he's been a good source of information. He turned me on to the fact that the Rhino engine is recommended from Jet Central, Eric, to be 1.5 inches from the end of the exhaust to the bell mouth of the pipe. So, kind of takes out the guesswork for me. It's supposed to improve the performance plus keep the pipe a lot cooler. And I think that's what's causing people to have pipe failures. Period. Is they just get them too close to the bell mouth. Right, the turbine's too close, and apparently it improves the thrust a little bit better as well. I don't know the mechanics behind it, but that's just what they're saying. Alright, boom, nice and flush, no screw heads sticking out, because there's really, I mean, there's no room with that latch on there. So I'll take these back out, drop some thin CA in there, rethread them. It makes for a really good, nice hole when you drop some thin CA in there and let it dry and run the screw in. And then, where is my box? I already kind of, see here. Already got the box laid in there. Yeah, adjust the camera here. And that's with the box in there. So be careful when you glue it in, make sure you get it the right way. Let's just kind of do like a trial fit here. Bam. Just like that. It gets epoxied in, it's nice and strong. Of course it is glued just to the back side of the skin, which looks like balsa, some type of balsa ply or something that's obviously glassed. But I guess it's strong enough because that's the way they do it. And nice tight fit with the hatch. Very low profile, which I'm happy with. I thought they were a lot bigger. Might have just been a picture of the 1/8 scale that I saw. But nice clean. And of course I'll have to draw straight out, you know, and then of course put the hinge in. They give you some really nice thick carbon fiber hinge to put in here. So I don't think that's going to cut out or going to come out. Alright, so that's pretty much it for now. And then of course this has, you know, when you put the hatch on there, you drill each side. It's got 4 real tiny screws. So it'll be nice. Almost, they look kind of like just natural rivets because they're so small, almost like little screws that you get that are inside your, you know, pair of glasses or something that you have to use like a little jeweler's screwdriver to tighten with. But that's pretty much it. The rest of it's just gluing it in. I'm just going to use some, you know, 30-minute epoxy since it's wood on wood. I'm not going to use my V-epoxy for that because you're going to tear the wood before you tear it out. You know, the glue joint will break. Of course, I'll use V-epoxy on this, but other than that, that's it. Next thing, let's see. Oh, let's see here. Kind of take it off the stand. Did a little bit of stuff earlier with the engine mount. Got the engine mounts in there. 2 screws. I'm going to actually put another block on this side of each one, and then I'm going to run a bolt through with a blind nut on the back of it, just for extra security, because I'm not going to glue it in. And then that'll pretty much be it. And then of course the bypass, I guess it's called a bypass, goes in here. I'm going to have to trim probably that much, about an inch off the front of the bypass, because you have to shift the engine so far forward to get that 1.5 inch clearance for the pipe that it pushes it too close to this piece, so you have to cut off about an inch. I'm not going to cut this, I'm just going to cut, you know, you obviously don't want to cut this because you never know what kind of turbine you're going to here. So I'm going to cut the bypass about 1 inch off the front of the bypass to allow it to come forward. And other than that, that's the only trimming on the bypass you have to do. The engine sits in there nicely, it's a good fit width-wise. So, and there's the There's the engine, a Rhino. Said this is what I'm gonna have to trim. Probably have to trim right about that much. Maybe not an inch, but yeah, it's about an inch. A little less than an inch. But enjoy the video. Once I get the wings glued, or the servos glued in the wings, I think the next thing that I can do until I get a few more parts, that's pretty much it. I'm just waiting on a bunch of stuff to come in this week. So you guys have a good night. Enjoy the video.